Hi everyone, so I've had a request. I had a request from Shannon on Pinterest. She saw this watering can gift box, which is super cute, and she sent me the pin for it and said, could I have a go at making it? So I have. Now what I wanted to do, because when you go to the pin, the actual pin she sent me, it goes through to someone's blog, and I'll put the name of their blog up on the screen now. And on that blog they had a link which took you through to the template for it, and so the template was from Split Coast Stampers, and I love Split Coast Stampers. They were literally one of the original websites that I used to go and check out when I wanted ideas, when I first started like paper crafting, like seriously properly as an adult. And they're just so good, so good. So yeah, so that was that. Then I discovered that the Swindon ladies, who as we know have given me lots of things over the years, one thing they gave me was, she gave me a folder with box templates and card templates in it, and I was like, I'm sure she's cut that out, I'm sure she's done, and she has. One of the Swindon ladies has. So yeah, so this is the actual Split Coast Stampers instructions. So if you go onto their website, this is what you get, and it's fantastic. And they also give you as well the template, which you can download and obviously cut it out and whatever. But I just thought not everyone likes using templates, so I wanted to try and make this box but not using a template. So if you don't have access to a printer and you can't cut out a template and you can't whatever, then I've managed to do the box, the handle and this piece not using a template. But I really struggled with the spout, so I have used the template for the spout. If I were you, I'd just head over to Split Coast Stampers and just, you know, download their instructions, laminate them like the Swindon ladies have, and then also the other thing as well that the Swindon ladies did, which was fantastic, was that she's actually gone ahead and made them all out. So all this template, she's put a bit of acetate, I think, over the top of the thing, the template, and drawn around it. So now there's all these little acetate bits of the template which you can just pick out and use, and she's even made little dots on, so you know where all the, you know, where you need to score from, the little spout, so you know where the lines are, the handle, the other handle. So that's a really good way of doing it, so I would definitely advise you do that. You can also cut it out of a cereal packet as well, and then, you know, you've got something, you just want something sturdy that you can draw around. So yeah, if you want no measuring and just easy, then go to Split Coast Stampers, download their instructions and their template and just draw around it, okay? And then you can kind of follow along with how to put it together, although they've got really good, and they've even got a video as well, so you know, yeah, they're good. If you don't have access to printing off a template and you need to just do it, you want to do it by measurements, then that's what I'm going to try and show you today. So I'm going to be using this very old pad from first edition called Mulberry Kisses. I don't know if it's still available. There might be like an auction site like eBay, or you might find it on Amazon, I'm not sure. Maybe a craft shop might still have it in, I don't know. But I know that I haven't seen this for a long time. I'm not even sure when this was from. 2015. 2015 this was from, so that shows you how old it is. Wow, so that's almost 10 years old. That's crazy, almost 10 years old. Anyway, it's a beautiful pad, so I decided to use it. So what I have done is I've cut myself a piece of pattern paper, and I've used double-sided pattern paper. And when I say paper, this is 200 GCSE. This is 200 GSM, so I would go for that kind of weight, because you don't want anything too thick, but you don't really want anything flimsier than a 200, I would say. So this has got that on that side, and then I've also got that lovely on the other side. So I'm going to use this as the main body of the watering can. The other good thing about having a double-sided card, like I have with this one, is that on this one what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this handle and this handle the opposite colour. So it'll be pink rather than this floral. And the same with the spout, that will also be the pink colour. So that's what I'm going to do, just to mix it up a little bit. I also haven't decorated this. I literally just made this yesterday just to see how it all went together. So you need one piece of double-sided card that's 9 inches by 10 inches. And then you're also going to need one piece that is 1/2 inch by 6.5 inches. We're going to score that in a bit. and another piece that is 1 inch by 4.5 inches, and this is what we're going to cut the rounded handle part. And then on this one I have actually just done the spout. If you can work out a way of making this spout so you haven't got to do the template, if you haven't got access to the template, you can freehand draw it if you want to. I just knew that that wasn't going to work for me, so I've actually drawn around the template for that bit. So what we're going to do is, if we start with these pieces and also this piece, and we're going to do some scoring. Right, so let's start with this piece that was 1/2 inch by 6.5. We're just going to score at 1 inch and at 5.5 inches. And then we're just going to fold them back, and as I said, I'm going to have the pink on, the dusky pink on the outside. So whatever colour you're having on the outside, that's where the mounting folds are going to be. So that's what you want from that. The other strip that I just had that was 1 inch by 4.5, we don't have to score that, so that can just stay where it is. Then you need to bring in your piece that is 10 by 9. Now I'm just going to turn this over because A, it's easier for you to see, and it's also easier for me to see. I know there is pattern here, but it's not quite so difficult. Okay, so you want to take your piece of 9 inch by 10 inches card, and you're going to score at 3 inches top to bottom and at 6 inches top to bottom. And then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to make a mark at 3.5 and at 5.5. You're not going to do the same on the bottom because you need to have a roundy piece there, so we'll deal with that later. If you turn this round, I'm going to turn this round clockwise. Okay, so my longer section is here. So there's my 3 inch score line there, so that equals 4. This is 3 and that's 3. Okay, so make sure that this is, you know, if you've got one of these scoreboards. Okay, so wherever your 0 is, that's where you want your 2 3-inch sections and then your 4 inch. Okay, so then what we're going to do is you're going to score again at 3 inches and at 6 inches, like that. And then here you're going to measure and mark at 3.5 and at 5.5, and you're going to do the same at the bottom, so at 3.5 and 5.5, like that. Okay, so now we're going to take the scoreboard away. So then you want to bring in your cutting mat, Stanley knife, etc. And what we're going to do is going to put our ruler down, and you're going to go from where these two, this score line and that score line meet here. Do all the corners here. So you're going to go from that corner up to the mark you've done at the top there, like that. And you can do the same here. So that's what you end up with. If you turn it around now, what we're going to do is on our, I'll turn it around this way, but I need to turn it sideways so I can mark. So on this score line here, because this is a 4 inch tall section, you're just going to mark down 1 inch in, and you're going to make a mark just along that score line at 1 inch and 1 inch. Okay, so what we need to do now is we are going to then come along here, join those two lines up, and in between those two lines you're just going to measure 2 inches in between. So you're going to come 1/2 inch in, so here and here. So I'm just going to draw a line like that. So that's like 1/2 inch in and 1/2 inch in, and then we are going to cut that section there. So we're going to cut from that 1/2 inch in to the end, and the same on this side here, and then from the end of that line, so the 1/2 inch in to the bottom corner, you are then going to cut. This is why the template is easier, because you literally just draw it on and off you go. So this is definitely the more trickier version, but as I said, not everyone's got access to a printer, so this was just a way of trying to sort it out. So you should end up with that, hopefully. Now what you want to do is you're going to try and cut, well, you're going to try and draw first of all like a rounded bit in between these two score lines. And I apologize that you can't really see my score lines very well. Let me try and make them a little bit more, you can sort of see them. So what I did was I actually used a roll of tape. Just used it. I'm going to turn it around because I can see them without getting my head in the way. Just use a roll of tape, got it on, got it so the two edges kind of go over, you know, line up with the edges there, like that. and just drew round, and that gave me that bit there. So then I'm just going to cut that out using a pair of scissors. Okay, so that's what your template should look like so far. So next up, we need to sort out these two pieces. Now, these two pieces need to have tabs on so they can connect. So for that reason, we are going to take we need to bring our cork board in first of all. We'll need the cutting board in a minute. Actually, no, we probably won't need the cutting board. I'm going to use scissors. So we're going to bring the school board back in and the cork board back in, and we're going to go from here up to that mark, and we're going to score it. So instead of cutting it, we're going to score it. So we're going to score that there, and then we're going to score from here to that little 1/2 inch in mark, and we're going to do the same over here. So again, from that mark up to the corner, and the same over here. So from the mark to the corner, like that. And then I'm just going to fold it, because we are going to need to fold it in a minute anyway. So I'm just going to fold it so you can kind of see it a bit better. So like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put, in fact, let me fold it this way, because this is the way it's going to be. Fold it that way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a line of tape on this side, because that's going to come up and it's going to stick onto here. So I'm going to put a line of red tape on here now. And then that just means then I'm going to know where to cut. It just makes things a bit easier if you put your tape on first. So I'm going to put the tape on here like that, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. So that's those two pieces done, and then I'm just going to come in with a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to cut just to one side of that tape, because then I know that's how big my tab needs to be. And then on the end here, I'm just going to notch it out. And because I've already put tape on, I haven't got to worry about trying to cut out some weird shape of tape. And then we'll repeat the same thing on this side. And then we're going to repeat the same process on the opposite side. So I'm just going to fold that over like that. And then we're going to stick this on like this and do the same on these other two flaps. So you should end up with that, hopefully, which is looking more like it should do. So as you know, those bits we just cut off look very odd, and you know, I'm sure you can probably find an easier way of doing it. As I said, the template is easier because you just literally draw around it and cut it out. Very simple. So now we just need to go ahead and just fold and burnish all of our other score lines, which is just these 4 in the middle. So you end up with that, and then we're just going to peel off the backing tape and then fold that score line in and just bring these up and just make sure that your cut edge lines up with that folded edge there, like that. And then we can do the same over here. So you end up with that. So then what I would do is just kind of gently come in with your hand and just give that a bit of a bend, just to kind of teach it what it needs to do. And then I'm going to put either a bit of wet glue, or you can put a tiny bit of red tape, is what I'm going to do, just on that very corner. But you do only need a tiny piece. So you can see there, just put a tiny bit there and a tiny bit there. And then we're going to go ahead, peel off the backing. And again, if you want to use wet glue, you can. I just didn't want to have to worry about it moving. And you're just going to tuck this over like that and in just to the point where you can't see that tape or that glue anymore. And as I said, you've given this a bit of a thing already, it will automatically bend, and you can put it down as much as you want to, really. It's just kind of that bowy bit at the front of the watering can. So I'm just going to lift that over the edge, like that, and then just put that down like that. There we go. And so that's the bow section of your watering can. So there's your body of your watering can done. If you bring in that piece that you had already scored, this piece here, you want to put, now as I said, I'm going to use the pink bit this time on the outside, not that same colour. And so on this bit here and this bit here, that's where I need to put my red tape. Okay, so you end up with that. So what we're going to do is take the backing off of one of these tabs, and then I'm going to take this, and this is going to go centrally right and left and right, and kind of, I don't know, just judge it where you want to put it really. If you want to go down a little bit, I think I've come down there about 3/4 of an inch roughly, and then this is going to come round and you're just going to meet in the middle there like that. So actually I probably could have gone up a little bit. I can overlap it, I suppose. No, I can't. So yeah, I probably should have gone up a little bit further, but that's fine. It's nearer the base of the watering can than it is at the top. At least it doesn't, you know, fit. It still fits. You might do well to start at the bottom maybe and just come up a little bit from the bottom. It's really up to you. And so I'm just going to marry that up so that that fits on there, and I need to make sure it's still kind of straight like that. And we can kind of bend it. So there you go. That's the watering can handle. Now the other advantage of using double-sided card and actually using the reverse side is it means this blends in better with the body of the watering can. The other thing as well is if you want to make this a bit more sturdy, you will need to reinforce that handle, because if you're going to put anything too heavy in there, that could be a problem. So next we're going to move on to the piece that was 1 inch by 4.5. Now I'm going to use this side. This is the side you're going to see, but I'm also going to draw on this side, which is a bit tricky. And all you want to do is you are going to measure up. Again, if you use the template, it makes things a whole lot easier. If not, you're just going to measure up from the bottom up 1/2 inch and make a little mark. And then the same on this side, mark up 1/2 inch, make a little mark. And then I would also just find halfway, which is 2 1/4. Just make a little mark there, because then what you want to do is from that halfway mark, you want to come down 1/2 inch. Now the reason I've done that is because I'm now going to freehand draw that curve in, and I just find it easier because I want to start at this 1/2 inch mark, come up slightly, curve it round like that, and then here I'm going to start to curve it back down to here. And obviously if you want to draw it out, you know, on a piece of paper and then cut around that, that's good. And then we're going to go from here, and again we want to keep it roughly 1/2 inch wide all the way along. Now this isn't the best in the world. Those little hatching marks are kind of throwing me off a little bit. But anyway, something along those lines. It's not the best. So I'm just going to cut that out now. So I'm now going to just rub out my pencil lines. Now obviously I'll probably do it on the other side normally, but because my pattern's quite busy, that's why I didn't do it that way around. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add a tiny bit of tape just on the 2 ends. And then on my original one, I got this the wrong way round. So really it needs to go, it's like that way, facing down like a frowny mouth. It needs to go on like that, so that the curve kind of bends it away from the front. I didn't do that on this one, I did it the way around, so it kind of goes up at a weird angle. And so you're just going to take off your red tape. I think either way is probably fine, to be fair. And then just stick this in like that. And the same on the other side. Turn that over. Oh. And then just stick that down. So you end up with that. So obviously judge for yourself which way you want to do it. One goes in, one goes out. It's up to you really how you want to do that. So with the spout, I've drawn around the spout already, so I'm just going to go ahead now and cut this out. As I said, if you want to do a freehand version of this, you're very welcome, but I really couldn't figure that out. So yeah, I've relied on the relied on the template. Right, so now we've cut it out. I'm just going to bring my school board back in, and we are just going to go. So on the original template, you'll see that there's kind of like a straight bit here, and there's also a straight bit here. So you want to just fold up those two lines. Now, I'm not entirely sure where my marks are on this, but we're just going to go for it and hope for the best. It's about there, roughly. So I'm just going to fold along those two bits like that. And then these two meet in the middle here, like that. Okay, because it will go, yeah, that way up, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of wet glue just on the inside of the top, the spout part. Not anywhere else, just the spout. And then we're going to just put the two pieces together and stick them down. Now you might see where you've cut it, it's not quite, you know, lining up, which is fine, because what we can do is once it's glued, just go in and just trim it and make it so that it's equal and you've got no bits of the card behind poking out. Right, so there's your spout. So then bring your watering can in. Where the curved bit is, that's the front, and this is just going to literally sit on that front section like that. Now mine's a little bit wonky, so I've obviously not scored it quite right. So then you're going to take a bit of either red tape or wet glue, depending on what you want to use. I might actually go with wet glue, because I think it's going to give me more time to kind of get it into place. And just put that on that folded section there, that flat section. And then take your spout and you just want to put it on the front so that it's kind of central. And so there you have your little watering can. So it's very cute. Obviously, you know, you can then decorate it, you can do what you want with it. But yeah, it's really sweet, really nice little watering can. Very, very nice. Perfect for Mother's Day and birthdays, you know, anything really. But yeah, so there you go. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. As I said, go and check out Split Coast Stampers. I shall put their name up on the screen for you, and also a link to the template as well, the instructions in the template. But yeah, go and check them out. They've got some fantastic things over there. This is why I really love them. They've got some really good card folds, and they've got like a whole gallery where people have done their own versions, which again inspires you to have a go at other things. It's just a really, really good website. So yeah, definitely go and check them out. And they do video tutorials as well. So not everybody gets on with it written instructions. So for me, I prefer to see a video rather than written instructions. But if you're a written instruction type person, they have you covered as well. So they're just, yeah, they're awesome. I can't speak high enough of them, to be honest with you. They're very good. So yes, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And I will see you all again next time. Bye.